hempsters, wannabe hempsters, and those folks interested in the incredible, miraculous industrial hemp plant. Today, this is Corral. I'm at the NoCo Hemp Trade Show and Exposition in Loveland, Colorado, April 6th and 7th. This is the largest hemp show in the world. And what we have here in Loveland, Colorado is a microcosm of the tremendous growth and tremendous opportunities that we're seeing in the world of industrial hemp. At this show, and we're going to kind of do a little pan, even though the weather is bad, this thing is packed. And we have representatives of the whole industry here at NoCo, representing not only the flower side of the plant, which is produced into medicinal products such as Pure Kind Botanicals nectar. And this is really driving our industry right now. The production of CBD-rich products, including topical products and including tinctures, is really what farmers now have been growing and processors have been processing to make products that are now making their way to the shelves. But what we have here at the NoCo exhibition is representatives of other aspects of the plant, including the fiber. And right across the way there, we can see some hemp insulation and building products. Over there, we can see hemp clothing. And down this aisle, we see all sorts of processing equipment. We happen to be here at the Pure Hemp Village. And what we tried to create at the Pure Hemp Village is a microcosm for this show. So not only are we displaying our products, but we built the exhibit with hemp. Everything, our furniture is all made from hemp, and our products are all made from hemp. And in addition to just being on the business side of the hemp equation, we're also on the political side and the philosophical side. And to represent, the aspirations of our hemp community, we built a hemp woman. And this is a effigy made from 100% hemp, and it represents a symbol of transformation, a transformation to a hemp economy and away from an oil-based economy. So the NoCo show, you can see, with all the people we have here today, is indicative of the success of the industry today and the potential of the industry in the future, as we see all different segments of the business community now coming into the industrial hemp area. It's not just the manufacturers of the CBD products, but we actually have manufacturers of equipment showing up. We have insurance companies that want to insure the growers and the processors. We have finance companies involved, and we also have equipment manufacturers. So this bodes very well for the states, in the 34 states in the United States that now have experimental programs or actually growing commercial hemp. And it also bodes well for the economy of our country, because what we're seeing in Colorado in particular is a tremendous growth in the employment coming from the industrial hemp industry. And it's not just the employment side, it's in medical marijuana and recreational marijuana states. We're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars pour into the state treasury to provide funding for education, for transportation, and for all sorts of good sustainable practices, all coming from the hemp industry. So it's jobs, and it's business, and it's health. So welcome to NoCo, everybody. Consistent with our Ask a Hempster format, we're going to see if we can pull in any of the guests here at our show and see if they have any questions or see what they're doing here at the show. Do we have any guests that would like to be on Ask a Hempster?
I do.
Come on over. Who do we have here?
I am Gary Etter.
Hey, Gary. Great. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carl.
Ask a Hempster, and welcome to NoCo. Is this incredible or not?
This is an absolutely amazing benefit.
What is the most amazing thing you've seen so far?
Just all the products and a lot of great people. Pretty cool expo here.
Thank you. You got a question for Ask a Hempster?
I do, Carl. I do, absolutely. What do you think are the biggest roadblocks preventing a wider adoption of hemp products? And what can people do to change it?
Those are great questions. And we actually had a show on Cannabis Tech that addressed the politics of hemp. And the real issues are politics and financing, and they're intimately related. In the case of politics, we have these checkerboard laws that we see in states, but we have an overreaching federal law that still classifies not only marijuana but industrial hemp, the good old hemp plant, as a class 1 drug, equivalent with cocaine and heroin. It's the craziest thing. And until that federal law gets changed, we're going to have the financiers, we're going to have the large businesses on the sideline. They're not going to come in. But if Senator Mitch McConnell will follow through with what he stated he wants to do, which is to, across the board, legalize industrial hemp, we're going to see this industry go through the roof. So it's really going to be the politics that drive the financing. The financing is the second biggest challenge that we face after the law. And as an example, our company took over a year to get a credit card processing method to process industrial hemp, much less cannabis, because those big banks that are insured by FICA, they are scared to jump into this industry. So as the financing companies come in to support the business and the law, we're going to see more and more business. We're going to see more and more sales. We're going to see more and more manufacture. We're going to see more and more product companies getting into it. So what can we do? Well, the most important thing we can do is when we have a state that it's still illegal, that state, those stakeholders, those people, the growers, the business community has to get together in that state and do what it takes to change the laws so that farmers can do what farmers do, grow. Processors can do what processors do, produce. Consumers do what consumers do, purchase. Now, wouldn't it be great to buy hemp-based products from Iowa in Iowa? Yes. Wouldn't that be great? Well, the good folks of Iowa have to legalize it because the good folks of Colorado now have legalized it, and we're seeing over $100 million a year come into our economy. We're seeing businesses everywhere, and we're seeing people being healed by this incredible plant, the cannabis plant. So let's change the law on a state level, but most importantly on a federal level, let's get all cannabis off Schedule 1.
Right.
Let's make industrial hemp legal, and we're going to take this industry all the way.
Absolutely.
Dave, thank you so
Carl.
much.
Very good.
Gary, thank you so much. Hey, we have any other questions here? Hey, who do we have here?
Yeah, we've got Michael Gordon from Kush Market.
Hey, Michael, welcome to Ask a Hempster and welcome to NoCo. Tell us a little about your business.
So what we have is a business-to-business wholesale platform. We help farmers connect with processors, so whether it's biomass or crude, and we're here talking about fiber. It's such an interesting industry. We try and connect all the dots.
That's awesome. Well, you came to the right place. You got any questions for me?
Yeah, I'm really interested in hemp as a fiber. We all know it's a great way to have agriculture, get good fiber, it's good for the ground. What industry is good, you think the first major industry to use hemp on a large scale? What industry is that we need to penetrate, and what needs to happen for that?
Okay, that's a great question. But let's go back and start at the very basics for those that don't know much about the hemp plant. So what we have here is we have a hemp stalk. And inside that hemp stalk, you can see there's the white material, that's called wood or hurd. And outside we have fiber, and that's what they make rope and clothes out of. So the first thing that has to happen is the materials you've got to be separated. So here we have the outer fiber, which is the long fiber, and then we have the inner hurd fiber. Okay, both of these are mostly fiber, but they have different constituents. This is a much shorter fiber, so it would be appropriate to use as an insulation in hempcrete, for example, or animal bedding. And this is a much longer fiber, so that's great for making things like cordage, rope, and ultimately textile. So the answer to your question is what are the processing technologies and companies that are going to take these intermediate materials and make final products.
Exactly.
So, to your question, right, what are the mass? First of all, let's be clear. The industry is producing fiber products right now.
Yes.
So there is hemp paper, there is hemp textiles, there are hemp plastics, but these are mostly small scale, mostly in the early stages, and I'm getting around to answer your question because the big markets are, in my opinion, building, auto,
yes,
and bioplastics. So right now, the auto industry is one of the largest purchasers of the hemp fiber, and we're seeing this in luxury cars, such as the Mercedes-Benz, the Volvos, on all their interiors, and that is just going to grow and grow in this country. Bioplastics is another market. Everybody is looking for an environmental plastic that will replace oil or the plant-based. There are different kind of bioplastics, but bioplastics are available now, and the fiber for making a composite plastic like this, that we can use for a building material, is millions of tons a year for just this one segment of the industry, and it's just one type of plastics, biocomposite. So a decortication-based refinery producing fiber for the bioplastics industry is huge. So those are, in addition to the plastics and the industry and the conventional fiber industry, the auto industry can take just about all the fiber that's being produced right now. Now there's an evolution that's happening, and that is the development of hemp refineries that produce not just long and short fiber, but they produce pulps, sugars, and lignin. Now the sugars and the pulp and the lignin that come out of the stalks are intermediates for the bioeconomy of the future, which means that whatever we can make out of oil and petroleum, we can make out of hemp-based sugars, hemp-based lignin, which is the glue that binds the plant together, and the pulp. So the future is anything made with petroleum we can make with hemp. That's the future. But today, in terms of your question, the big markets to look at: bioplastics, building, and auto.
Now, you mentioned that auto industry could take all of the hemp biomass that's being produced right now. What do you feel is the big choke point? Is it a price point for the manufacturers out there, and they think that hemp is more expensive and we need to be producing more and have more efficient processing facilities? What is that key choke point?
The last guest we had on the ask about what's the holdup, and the holdups are both politics and financing. As long as hemp remains a Schedule I narcotic, we see the big companies on the sideline, and we see the banks not wanting to have anything to do with it. So that's a giant holdup. Once that frees up, that becomes legal, we're going, with the kind of demand we're seeing at this show, the kind of excitement we're seeing at this show, we're going to see money come off the sideline into this industry, and that's going to fuel it. But at the basis of the demand is the consumer. It's the Volvo that says, my consumers want hemp. We're going to put hemp in the car. It's the installation company that says, my consumers want hemp-based products. We got to get some. So it's that demand from the consumers that's driving everything. Let's not forget that this is the largest consumer. The United States is the largest consumer of hemp-based products in the world, but up to this point we haven't made much. So we're going to change that around.
Do you think we need to be looking at other countries with more flexible laws to be leading that charge to making an industry-wide change?
I think we need to be coming to our senses and start employing environmental rational thinking when it comes to things like value-added agriculture and value-added processing. I'm a protectionist in the sense that I believe we want to grow our own industry here. We want farmers producing product for local refineries producing products for a state or a region, and maybe nationally if we get big. But when I hear people from Australia or from other parts of the world, like Africa, saying, hey, come to Africa and set up. Or can we ship our stuff to you guys? No, we want to encourage the people in Africa, the people in Wisconsin, the people in New Jersey to set up their own decentralized plants, because that way that farmer value-added income stays in the state, and if we can set up manufacturing plants there, all of those jobs stay in the state. So it's a beautiful thing. So of course, if somebody makes a better mousetrap, then we've got to take note, you bet. But it's really serving the farmers and the businesses here and sharing what we can with other countries and other entrepreneurs that is really going to change the world.
And then how can we help, from a marketplace perspective? I see farmers out there who produce this biomass, and I literally talked with someone who just dipped back into his fields this year, had nowhere to sell it.
That's the issue. How do we form the stakeholder groups that include the farmers, the financiers, the processors, and bring a plan to the financiers that they put money in, and we build plants and put people to work. We need plants. And the plants are not just the plants from the field, the hemp plants coming in, we need that, but we need processing plants so that those farmers can take a stock and the plant, add value to it, and then we make a product that a consumer can buy. That's where the action's are.
There's a lot of work to be done, but we're in the right
got
place
a lot
for
of work,
it.
and you're the
Thank you so
man.
much. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. We got any other Hempster that would like to ask any questions?
You got time for one more?
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Corral.
Hi, Christy.
Oh, Christy, where are you from?
I am from here in Colorado.
Oh, right. Another native. Two of them. Here,
Yes.
give me 5.
Woo.
Thank you. So, what is driving you to come to our Hempster today?
I am a huge advocate. Hemp has actually changed our lives, changed our world. Cannabis and hemp together completely turned our world around. So I'm a big advocate, I'm a writer, and I try to get all of this education out for everyone else to hear.
That's what we really need right now, is
Absolutely.
to get the education out. It's some people say that less than 2% of the U.S. population has ever heard of CBDs. They don't even know what it is. So with all this action on CBDs, just think where we're going to be next year and the year after.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
That's a great segue into my question.
Okay,
All right.
lay it on me.
So Dr. Jeff Chen at UCLA calls cannabis and hemp a gateway herb, because he believes that when people start to grasp what cannabis and hemp actually does, it's a gateway into a healthier lifestyle, because they start to understand the plant-based nutritionals and the plant-based medicines that are out there. I'm curious what your perspective is on that topic, from the idea of cannabis and hemp being a gateway herb.
That is such a tremendous concept, because I do agree with that. And it's people who are, whether you're in the growing side or in the processing side or actually in the consumption side, it's uplifting us. It's uplifting us on the farmer side because it's value added, it takes less water, and it takes less of the nasty pesticides. It's on the processing side, wow, what are the opportunities that we have to make hemp rope domestically, hemp bioplastics domestically, where all these products are coming from outside the United States. Now we have that ability. So from a planetary point of view, growing hemp is helping our whole planet transition from an oil-based economy to a plant-based economy. As to your question, that's really going to heal not only people, but it's going to heal the whole planet, the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom, because we're not polluting as much, we're not relying on fossil fuels, we're not adding to global warming. So it is a gateway to a healthier planet and a healthier lifestyle. And what a great question.
All right. Thanks, Carl.
Okay, Christy, thank you so
You
much.
bet.
So we're going to wrap up here from NoCo this year, and next year, for the Hempsters that are listening, maybe you want to join us in Loveland, Colorado, learn more about it. Otherwise, enjoy and do everything with hemp.